phenomenon implies that there is only one interaction. There is only one interaction between photons and electrons. There is only one interaction between photons and electrons. Multiple photons are not able to interact with the electrons. Now, if light was an energy, there would have been continuous particles on the electrons and they would have absorbed enough energy to escape. So this was not happening. So this kind of gave a solid foundation to what Planck was trying to say, that light consists of energy particles, and then again the quantum of energy in each particle is equal to h nu, and this is what gave rise to the quantum theory. And from there the quantum physics developed. In quantum physics we basically treat light as a particle, but in reality light has dual nature. And this was also proved later. Proved later that not just light, even electrons have dual nature. So from there they concluded that it is not just that, it is matter in fact which has dual nature. And the fact that matter has dual nature, there is a wavelength associated with every matter, or there is a wave associated with every matter. Now this is what gives us the next concept, that is the dual nature of matter. So de Broglie proposed this, and according to de Broglie proposed the dual nature of matter. And the wavelength associated with matter is equal to h by p. Okay, the wavelength associated is equal to h by p, where what is h? H is Planck's constant, and then what is p? P is the momentum of the body. P is the momentum of the body, and then lambda is the wavelength associated with it. So p is equal to mass into velocity. H is Planck's constant. Lambda is the wavelength associated. With matter waves. Okay, so specifically there is a phenomenon called diffraction. There is a phenomenon called diffraction. Diffraction is a phenomenon that can occur only when you treat light as a wave. Okay, I am not getting into the details of this because when you go to your 12th standard, you will learn the exact details of it. There is a chapter on dual nature of light and dual nature of matter. So there we will be discussing this. There is a chapter on diffraction. In diffraction, we will be discussing what is diffraction. Basically, there are two phenomena, diffraction and interference. Okay, these phenomena occur only for waves. So light participates in this. So light can interfere or light can diffract. Okay, so simply if I have to explain to you what it is, suppose there is a very steady pool of water. So in that steady pool of water, suppose you release two tiny stones at these two ends. So what will happen? You would have seen that the waves go from here and the waves also come from here, and these waves interact with each other, and you see one pattern. You see one pattern here. So that pattern is what is referred to as a diffraction pattern or an interference pattern. Okay, now with light we can demonstrate that pattern. Then what Davison and Germer did, they demonstrated that with electrons also you get to see such patterns. That means what? that electrons were behaving like waves, and they were able to find out the wavelength associated with those waves. Then when de Broglie applied this formula that he had to this formula he applied, and he found out the wavelength, and this wavelength matched exactly with that wavelength. So the world accepted de Broglie's proposal, saying that yes, matter has dual nature. So sometimes it behaves as particles, sometimes it behaves as waves, or it has the potential to be explained in terms of waves and in terms of particles. Now, fundamentally in the world, there are these two theories of physics. One is the particle theory and one is the wave theory. Okay, now they are trying to club these two. Okay, they are trying to club these two and come up with a unified theory. The effort is still on. Till now they have not. A string theory was a method or was an attempt to kind of unify this. They have not been unified. They have not been able to unify. So I don't know, maybe some of you may be able to think and give us a unified theory in due course of time. Okay, so this is what it is. Yeah, so then let's move on to a few other principles. Then you have Heisenberg's, before I go, let me just check. Yeah, diffraction happens when it passes through small holes. They curve, yeah, kind of. So, sir, for parents teachers meeting, what is the username? I will send you everything. They will send you. That's why I said Tuesday. We will send you by today evening. We will send you so that you have Saturday, Sunday, Monday again to confirm, and then we will have the meeting on Tuesday. Okay, yeah. So JEE also have same chemistry. I don't know what is the meaning of your question. The syllabus is the same. Yeah, they have more problems. You have more theory. Yeah, so that is a limitation. For D block elements, you can't write valency. So we have to understand that. Yeah, for D block elements, you can't write valency. It's very difficult. Only for S block, you can write clearly. For P block also, you can write clearly. For D block, you can't. And if you see, most of your elements which have variable valency are there in the D block. Yeah, so those are the patterns that we have to see and learn. Yeah. No, you can't write. You can't write. You just try to write. You'll make a mistake, but don't worry about the mistake. You won't get a gold medal because I won't be giving gold medals to anyone. Okay. Yeah. So here is a question. The mass of an electron is 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. If its kinetic energy is 3 into 10 power minus 25, what is its wavelength? No mark related meeting. It is only about general things. Okay, it is about general things, how to read, what to read, and so on. Nothing to do about marks. Marks will come only after few days. The mass of an electron is given to you. If its kinetic energy is given to you, what is its wavelength? So the way you go ahead working out on these kinds of questions is this, that you will understand that kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, while de Broglie's concept says that lambda into p is equal to h, Planck's constant. P is equal to mass into velocity. So I have P is equal to mass into velocity. So suppose I say P square. So P square will become what? M square V square. So P square by 2m. 2m. mm gets cancelled. So that is equal to half m V square. So from here I can say that kinetic energy is equal to P square by 2m. Yeah. So if kinetic energy is P square by 2m, I can say P is equal to root over of 2 times m into kinetic energy. Yeah. So from here, if I substitute, I can get lambda is equal to h by root over of 2 times mass into kinetic energy. So now I have all the data in front of me. So 6.634 into 10 power minus 34 divided by root over of 2 into 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 into kinetic energy 3 into 10 power minus 25. Yeah, so I can now try to find out what this is equal to. So this is equal to 6.6 into 10 power minus 34 divided by minus 31 minus 25. So that is how much? Minus 56. Minus 56 by root over, no? So divided by 2 is 28. So I will put it as plus 28 divided by root over of 2 into 9.1 into 3. So 9 into 2, 18. 18 into 3 is like 54. 54 is very close to 79, sorry, 49. 49 is 7, so it is approximately 7.5. 7.5 is like 5625. This is 54. So little less than 7.5, maybe 7.4. So I will say this is approximately, this is equal to, okay, so this is equal to 6.6 into 10 power, here I will get minus 6 divided by, I told you this value is approximately 7.4. So I'll divide these two and I will find out. So 9 into 7, 9.92 probably. So when I work it out, I'll get 0.92 into 10 power minus 6. So which is equal to 9.2 into 10 power minus 7 meters. Okay, so I can write that as 9200 into 10 power minus 10 meters. So I can say it is 9200 angstrom units. This is an approximate answer. This is an approximate answer. I worked it out, no? P square by 2m. You tell me what should it be equal to? You're waiting for me to write something and then you are thinking, how does 10 power minus 56? So you tell me what it should be, Abhinaya. I have no problem. You please tell me 1 upon 10 power. Please tell me how it is. You all have to think. This is not something that I can do. Tell me how much is 1 by root over of 10 power minus 58. How do you work it out? Okay, so the moment you have root over, this will become half. So this is equal to 1 by 10 power minus 29. Okay, this 10 power minus 29 goes to the numerator and it becomes 10 power 29. Then you have 10 power minus 34 into this much. So it will become 10 power minus 34 plus 29. So all those things you have to think and you have to work it out. They are assuming that you have learned all those things in your lower classes. Okay, So 31 minus 25 is 56. So it becomes root over 1 by root over of 10 power minus 56. So that will become 'Yeah, so there's a power cut at my place. So there's a problem because of the power cut, but I hope you are able to get it. Anyway, ask me, you wanted the proof for the p square by 2m. So here it is. Look, kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. So how will I get from here? How will I get this? So if I square it, I'll get P square is equal to m square v square. But I need only m. So what will I do? I'll divide it by m. And I need a 2. I need a 2. So this is equal to half mv square. So kinetic energy is equal to P square by 2m. So P is equal to root over of 2 into m into Ke. Okay, so this is how you get it. So please make a note of this derivation. Okay, is this understood? Then we will go here. Please explain to yourself. So this is slide 1. This is slide 2. This is slide 3. This is slide 4. Okay, so were you able to see the slides or no? Yeah, Pawan, it is correct. What you got, 8910 angstrom units, is correct. Okay, what to do? There is a power cut here. Up Bohr's concept and and the quantum theory of a model. Yeah, Bohr's atomic structure and the quantum theory model of an atom. The quantum model of an atom. There will be questions based on some questions based on de Broglie wavelength. Then again Planck's concept. Then again there will be questions based on electrons jumping from one shell to another shell. Mostly the questions will be from there and from the quantum theory. Yeah, so let me just check. Here's the 5th slide. Slide. Yes, all the concept from Bohr's theory is in test. Okay, so is the uncertainty principle sums there for test? No uncertainty principle. Uncertainty principle. 4 and 5, slide 5, here 4. Problem, and then we wrote the solution for that.